What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo. Today we're going to talk about Ant-Man, a pretty awesome character, and I think a really good rework for the character. However, I think for a lot of players out there, he's not really going to be a very viable option for them, especially considering all the speed options that we've gotten recently with Shadow Shell. We already have Black Widow, we have Spider-Man, all of these characters, Spider-Man being a male, speed as well. So a lot of people that already maybe have him at tier 4 probably won't need Ant-Man, to be perfectly honest. But he is a good character, guys. He is fairly strong, got really good damage. This uniform is a huge upgrade from what he had before. However, there are some caveats to the uniform, as we'll talk about in a little bit. Now, I want to do, this update a little bit different than what I normally do, because usually I give you guys my initial impressions of all these characters, but I feel like I just regurgitate and sound like a broken record because I'll repeat everything for each character whenever I do the reviews after my initial review of all the characters at once. So we're just going to talk about Ant-Man, talk about what they've done for the character, and talk about the good and the bad about him. So right now, guys, he has almost 44,000 physical attack on my account. He's got pretty much max attack stats except for the ignore defense. All he has is the agility tag, which Spider-Man does have, being a male. I just want to throw that out there, guys. Also, his dodge is pretty insane at 52%, right? And I do have mythic physical attack Urus on him, and that's it. Okay, now when it comes to his kit, they actually gave him a 60% increase of all attack on his tier 3, which is awesome. That is really good to see. That thing is nuts. It does really good damage. His passive, the increased guaranteed dodge rate, this has always been there, but by 87% is pretty damn nice, right? I don't think he's going to be PvP, guys. I really think he's going to be more PvE, especially since he doesn't have any ignore iframe. His 1, no big deal. The 2, no big deal. The third skill, they gave him accumulation by 1.2%, which is awesome. I'm so glad they gave him accumulation. So great. And then his fourth skill gives him 25% heal. Now, this is one of my criticisms of this character and what Marvel's done for him. They should have given him a better heal. 25% is good, but this really should have been 35%, especially the way his kit is designed, as we'll talk about in a little bit. He does get 4 seconds of invincibility, which is great. Gives him super armor, and he also has immunity to guard break from his uniform effect in his kit, which is awesome, guys. He doesn't get guard broken at all, which is really nice. You can be very versatile with the obelisk that you're going to put on this character. He also has increased all attack by 45%, which is pretty damn sweet. And then his fifth skill, they gave him a damage proc by 100%, and this is the skill you want to put the proc on. And this proc will transfer over to the tier 3 in the way that I'm going to play him. Now, you can play him a couple different ways, but I find the way that I play him, he's just really consistent with using the proc. And then he has a 40% increase in physical attack, which is awesome, guys. Really great that they did that. His leadership is still pretty much crap. Now, his tier 4 does give him an increase of all attack, and an increased character size, another all attack buff, which is nice. So really, his damage is going to go up, but his survivability isn't, at least as far as I can see. Yeah, his survivability won't go up, and that is something they really should have gave him. Honestly, they should have gave him something like what they did with Black Widow, where he'll dodge like so many attacks whenever he's using his tier 4. That would have really fit with Ant-Man. I mean, the guy turns really small and moves around. He can avoid pretty much everything. So, I mean, it seems like this kit's really more focused on him being big, but they really should have done a combination for him. I mean, he does not have all the native dodge, which is helpful, but you'll find in World Boss, guys, that he's still going to take a tremendous amount of damage, like a lot. Let me grab my controller here. Okay, so it's a lot easier to do with my controller than it is my cursor. So his third skill, this is pretty much what we've seen before. You get the accumulation immediately. This is cool, right? This is cool. Breaking out the swarm, like seriously. When I saw this, I thought it was awesome, and it's an instant cancel skill. The fifth skill, he gets big, he slams down, does a few punches. Really cool, and this is the skill with the damage proc. Now, you can cancel his tier 3. After he does a little spin there, you can cancel it if you really want to. But personally, guys, I find that it's a lot easier to play him just going 3, 4, 5, right? Put the proc on the fifth skill. And then your second rotation, you'll just go 3, 4, 5, tier 3. And you will carry over that proc by 100% when you're doing your tier 3, which is awesome. really, really sweet, guys. Like, he's a super easy character to play and super proc friendly, has a nice solid rotation, not super tight, but not super loose. Like, you just keep his flow going really, really well. It's really nice. I mean, and I don't have the greatest build. It's okay, but not the greatest build. He has a stage 6 overdrive set on him. He has no artifact, and I'm only using a 120% proc on him with ignore dodge by 22% and critical damage by 35%. And this character can go to level 80, guys. Once you take him to level 72, he's going to easily be able to do what I'm going to show you. And the thing is, I think that's what a lot of people are probably going to do with Ant-Man. To be fair, I think they're doing that with a lot of the tier 4s, right? I mean, me too, right? I'm doing the same thing, just so they can get a little bit easier clear with this character. But he is quality as far as his damage, but the heal by 25% really isn't enough. Now, I do have his uniform at Mythic, and as far as the uniform options, guys, you have Absorbing Man, which is, okay, Then you have Apocalypse, which is bad, right? I actually opt to go for HP because its survivability is quite crap. Well, it's not crap. It's okay, but man, if there's toxic meteorites on the ground, if he's getting hit by the tentacles from Null, he can die pretty easy, guys. It doesn't take a whole lot for him to croak. Then we have some extra dodge here by Heimdall, and we have some extra critical damage right here for him, right? Baron Zemo, I mean, not really a great uniform. It's not very good uniform. So, outdated. I mean, not really the greatest uniform options in all honesty, guys. Like, not the greatest at all. Plus, his uniform effect does give him chain of damage by 15% and decrease basic damage received by 20%, right? And that's pretty damn sweet. I mean, he's got a nice kit. But something that you guys are going to notice whenever you're playing with this character is that whenever you're using him, you're going to notice that he's just sitting in the pocket and he's right up against him. Now, this is stage 49 Null. This is the highest stage you can take him in against Null himself. And the thing that sucks about him is that he is in the pocket, guys. Like, he's not in an iframe when he's doing his tier 3. He's not in an iframe when he's doing his 5th skill. And those are the skills that you're going to be proccing on, right? You're going to be wide open, and you're going to be taking tons and tons of damage while you're doing this. And he only has a decreased basic damage received by 20%. They should have gave him a higher decreased damage received. I think if it had been by 30, 35%, that would have been so much better. And then give him a 30% heal, then he would have been like just complete, right? Because he's super easy to play, and he's honestly a really fun character to play. Now, I'm using Maya's leadership because of that debuff. That really helps his survivability against the toxic meteorites, because you'll find, guys, in this high level, the toxic meteorites will drain you. They will absolutely take his life down at a pretty rapid rate. So having that debuff really helps his survivability big time. Also, in this part of the phase, well, not this part of the phase, but in the second phase, you'll see what I'm talking about. I don't want to jump the gun here. I almost did. But notice how we just go right into that 3, 4, 5 after we do our tier 3. Like, it's smooth to play with him. But look at the damage he's taking. I mean, it is just... I mean, guys, and I had to do this run a few times, right? And I even gave an extra HP on his uniform effect. Now, to be, I only have 25% HP on my account. So for those of you that have a lot more HP on your account, this won't be as big of an issue for you whenever you're playing with this character. But I have a feeling that a lot of you guys that have a lot of HP probably have pretty good card sets and probably won't care about tier 4ing this character. Hey, I don't know if he's going to end up being an AVX meta. I have no idea. But yeah, now here's where it gets wacky. So in this phase, Null actually has penetration, right? After he throws out the little whatever that comes floating around, right? And you can take a lot of damage, my friends. It is ridiculous. Okay, and you'll see what I'm talking about here, because again, he won't be in an iframe, right? So we're just going to avoid all these attacks. Nice that dodge saved us there. The dodge on Ant-Man is really, really nice. Plus, having an immunity guard break to just run through all that is really sweet. But we will, like, you take some pretty good damage here. Okay? Something else that's nice is because he's so proc friendly, you could easily play with a mighty energy or whatever. See, that debuff, guys, is really saving us. I'm telling you, from Maya, it's really, really saving us. Because when I didn't have that debuff, well, I took so much damage in here that it wasn't even funny, man. Like, sometimes he would kill us. which isn't a good thing. But he has good damage. I mean, this is with a 120 proc, right? This is not a leveled up. I mean, he's just got a mythic uniform, but he's just got a 120 proc, and you know, it's in his ISO 8 set isn't fully leveled up at all, right? We're not getting near the attack buffs from it. We're not getting the extra stats from it as well. So we can do a lot more damage and actually clear this pretty damn easy if I really wanted to. But I wanted to show you guys with a subpar build what he actually does. And it's pretty damn respectful. It is very good. Stage 49 with a 120 proc, guys, is pretty nutty for him to do this much damage, right? Now, I'm not going to be able to clear this, but I wanted to show you guys in the highest level possible with a subpar build that he comes close. He does really, really well. So obviously, if I slapped a better proc on him, he just a regular obelisk would be more than enough. I do have 22% pierce on my account. If I had a 180 proc or a 200 proc on this guy, even a 160, I think we would have got this done. Even with the subpar ISO 8 set that I have on him, right? Okay, run around. So, I mean, you can see, guys, we're losing a lot of time, right? But we're down to almost the 13th bar, which is pretty damn respectful. It's really, really good for Ant-Man. I mean, I just wish they would have, you know, at least on his fifth skill, gave him an iframe. It really would have helped his survivability a lot more. So he wouldn't be sitting in the pocket and absorbing damage. It's kind of the thing that sucks about playing him. And a lot of times when characters, like, even though they might have really good damage, whenever their survivability isn't as good as what you'd like to see, then people don't really want to play with them, especially if they're pushing high levels of world boss. Like, but this is the highest level he's pushing, to be fair, at least against Null. And he can absolutely do this, and you can easily keep him alive, especially if properly played. You're a little bit careful, maybe do some switching out every now and again. But as you guys can see, man, like, we're going to, you know, have 11 bars. Well, actually about 10 bars left over, right? So if I would have had a better proc on him with my current build, we would have definitely been able to do this. We would have absolutely been able to destroy stage 49 Null, which is pretty awesome, guys. I mean, it's really, really good, you know. And as far as Ant-Man, guys, like, you know, against Mephisto, you know, as far as his restrictions, when you come in here, like, obviously he's going to be able to do 0 to 9. And then, like, let's see here. So superhero, he can do, you know, 10 to 14, yep, 10 to 19, right? Okay, so great, 10 to 24. So maybe for a newer player, he might be a useful character for you guys, right? That's female. No, it's leadership. And then speed superhero. So, I mean, this is stage 50. So stage 50 to 54, right? You can use them in there. But I mean, you know, like I said, guys, we already have characters that, you know, do have like the level 80s. I mean, Makari can fly through the skies. Black Widow can easily destroy this. Spider-Man can easily destroy this. Luna can destroy this. Hell, Miles can even beat this. Shadow Shell can beat this. Like, all of these characters can do this already. And it's kind of the unfortunate thing about Netmarble pushing out the same typings where they do all the combats in a row and they do all the speeds in a row. It's kind of the thing that hurts the character. I don't know if he's going to be an ABX meta or not, but it is a big upgrade for him. It is a way better uniform than what he had before. It's way more proc friendly, a whole lot more fun to play, and I do like it. Should you buy it? I mean, if you have all those other speed characters, I would say probably not, unless you're competitive and he ends up being an ABX meta or ABL meta. That's the only way I could say maybe you'd want to go for him. Or maybe, I guess you even want to use him in AC since he has all that dodge. But I feel like a lot of people, even though it's a really good uniform, are going to skip the character because the truth is, most players, including myself, don't need him at all. But it is a good uniform, guys. I just wish he had iframes on that fifth skill. I just wish he had a little bit better heal. Wish he had a higher decreased damage received. If they're just going to have him sitting in the pocket using that fifth skill and that tier 3, I mean, those things would have made him even better. But because of the restriction and requirements and the fact that we have all these strong speed characters already, I think a lot of people, again, will probably end up skipping the uniform. But it is a solid uniform. So guys, let me know what you think about Ant-Man, and I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. DD+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See everybody. Take care.